Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Radio Geonosis, where we talk about Star Wars from a certain point of view. I'm Angie, and I've got
Jim.
with me back on the show. And today we were at Superhero Summerfest in Alhambra, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. But before we do that, we're going to do some hot happenings of this week. Top story is Celebration 2020 will be in August of 2020 from August 27th to the 30th. Tickets go on sale June 21st. June 21st. Sorry, made a foible. We've been out in the sun all day.
Yeah.
So June 21st, tickets go on sale at 9 o'clock. Hopefully everyone's ready at the computer. So that's going to be very, very exciting. Disney clarifies Star Wars Galaxy's Edge costume policy. Guests from 13 and under can wear Star Wars costumes, but kids who are the big kids too, 14 and older, has to wear Star Wars inspired outfits. So it was pretty cool to kind of see the difference. If you get a chance, take a look. I'm all right with that. You know, you don't want adults running around in there with a costume, because then pretty soon you won't know who the characters that work for Disneyland and the characters that are there just having fun in Disneyland. So I can totally understand that. Also, here's something fun. Star Trek logo spotted on Mars. William Shatner makes a Twitter. Hold on just a second. Responding. And it says, "Hey, Star Wars, will you hurry up, you rebel scum? We beat you." I was like, okay, now it's on. And then stay on target for the perfect Father's Day gifts guide. I got to see a really cool tie with a lightsaber tie pin. So I really like that.
Oh, yeah,
I thought that was cool.
yeah, especially if you're in the Thai generation, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, or if you work in the office,
right.
I think that's a conversational starter.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, and then what do you have, Jim?
I wanted to just update on this podcast about Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Woohoo! I love Old Republic.
It's the MMORPG made by EA BioWare, and it's been around since 2011. And they announced the release of their latest expansion 6.0, which is called Onslaught, and it is due, I believe, in September of this year, before the release of Episode 9. And so the game is continuing to play well and run strong. They're still making new content. We're going to see 2 new locations.
Wow.
And we're going to, I believe, end the story for 6.0 on the planet Corellia, where the original 3-chapter story ended back in 2011. So we're going to revisit an old planet. We're going to see a new planet. One new planet is one we were already familiar with, which is the planet Onderon, which has been seen in Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Wow.
And it's also visited in the original Tales of the Jedi comic series from Dark Horse Comics back in the day. We're also seeing a completely new location, which is, I would call, a shadow port, which is basically where smugglers and thieves and ne'er-do-wells hang out to, trade and smuggle and whatever.
That's cool.
And so part of the story will also take place there. Also, it's already been released, a new periodic event, which is called Dantooine Incursion. So we already have another new planet for SWTOR, which is Dantooine, which is the planet originally mentioned in A New Hope.
Right.
By Princess Leia. The base is on Dantooine. And it's also a known world that was used in the Knights of the Old Republic video game back in 2003.
So it sounds to me like they're trying to tie everything in together.
That is correct. I agree with you on that. And so, we're seeing classic settings, new settings, with all of the content, revolving around a new storyline, which is, again, going to be Republic versus Empire.
Can you kind of see this tying into possibly the movie that they're talking about, or a show that they're talking about
Oh, you're talking.
for Old Republic?
Right. You're talking about.
The guys from Game of Thrones.
I don't know if they're doing it. It still hasn't been verified what era that they're working in yet. It's logical that they might be doing a more medieval type style setting, which would coincide with KOTOR, because of course they did Game of Thrones. I don't know because, like I said, that hasn't been verified. Now, news has surfaced that a script is being adapted from KOTOR by a female writer whose name escapes me at the moment, and but it was a trilogy of films based on the KOTOR series of games and novels. So
So it sounds to me like they're weaving some of the old, that even the games from 2011 or whatever, they're weaving everything maybe possibly together to tie these stories in with the movie, maybe.
I hope so, and it'd be kind of cool to see some of that material make it back into the official canon, um, like characters like Darth Revan and Bastila Shan.
Oh, I would love that.
Those are fan favorites.
Oh, yes, they
for
are.
years
And
and years.
Revan's got his own doll.
He has his own action figure.
Yeah.
I actually got one.
I have one too.
Yeah,
I got one last year at Comic-Con.
Yeah. So, but yeah, and so this is all coming together as well, and hopefully we'll get more news because we really don't have anything other than the fact that the script is being written. We don't know who it's being written for, and if it's even been
Keanu
accepted.
Reeves.
Oh god, there's been that one fan Photoshop
Yeah.
of Keanu Reeves as Revan. It's beautiful, and
He would be perfect.
he would be perfect as Revan. I think he's done action films, and he has enough gravitas. He's done more serious work as well, and I think he's a decent actor. I think he'd be just fine.
I think we could do that. All right, well, that's going to do it for the hot happenings. We're going to be talking about Summerfest in just a minute. So today we were at Summerfest.
Superhero Summerfest.
I kept wanting to say just Superhero Fest. So we were at Superhero Summerfest in Alhambra,
California.
Woo! It was a lot of fun today. We were there with the Mandalorian Mercs, and there was quite a few people there from NerdBot. There were folks from, I think Kids Can Cosplay. We've actually done a few events with them. I was surprised at how many people were there. Were you?
Yeah, I thought it was well attended, and a lot of people being exposed to the fandom, as it were. And there was a lot of people showing up in costume themselves.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And I think that there was a lot of people. The energy was really good. There was there was music playing. They had a live band.
I like that. I wish I could have recorded that.
They were playing period appropriate music, I could say. A lot of it was 80s music.
Yes.
Some were music from popular films like Ghostbusters and Back to the Future and stuff like that.
Yeah, and they did some Queen music. I really like that.
Well, Bohemian Rhapsody is it's
classic.
Kind of it's kind of a nerd requirement, thanks to Wayne's World and whatever.
Yes. They did a vegetable song too. I wasn't really fond of that.
Well, oh god, I can't remember the name of the show, but DJ Lance was there, the guy who wore the orange suit.
Yes.
And it's a children's show that broadcast on, I believe it was Nickelodeon originally.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
And it's just for literally 3 to 5 year olds. That's what the target is, I believe. And they were doing the kids play songs that they did on that show. And like I said, the energy was really high and really positive.
And this was our first time doing it. First time Saber Guild being part of the performance. Being part of the event.
Right.
And I think they have done this before, and they said last year was big, but this time was bigger. There was quite a few people. I was really amazed at how many people had shown up for it. We had a booth. We did kyber crystals there. We gave out cards. We talked to folks about joining, about lightsabers. So it was all in all really a cool event.
But you can't forget the inflatable lightsaber balloons.
Yes, we did 200 of those and gave away all of them. So I'm really excited that kids wanted to come up and get lightsabers from us, the balloon lightsabers. So that was cool. And then another thing that was there was the guy that he sang the
Pokemon song
theme song. So
show.
That was really fun. Everybody was excited to see him do that.
And there was an inflatable Pokemon costume person there.
Yes, floating around as it will.
Yeah, that was really cute.
They had a lot of pins there. You could buy pins. They had some Star Wars dolls. I didn't get a chance to look through there. Thank God I didn't.
And they had other geek materials, like Pop's action figures and other action figures. I saw some anime stuff there as well, like Gundams and busts for various characters from like Bandai and Kotobukiya or Kotobukiya. I cannot say the name right now.
That's all right.
I have to look at it to say the name.
I think I get the gist of it.
And then, those were really cool. And they had some stuff you could buy to wear, like shirts and dresses.
Yeah, I got a dress. I got a Star Wars dress, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, I wonder,
I don't know.
if you're a Star Wars fan.
I don't know. I don't know that I am, but I do have a closet full of stuff to prove that I am. But Jim and I talked about, before we were recording the show, about how we see that the geek culture is coming to the forefront. A lot of people wanting to attend, people coming in costumes, people not feeling like they're going to be rejected if they show up to events in costumes, which I think is really cool that it's opened the door for so many folks to just feel like, you know what, if I want to come in a Superman costume, so be it, and people feeling comfortable enough to come and talk about what they love, their passion of Star Wars or DC Comics or Marvel or whatever it is. Yeah. I think I love the fact that those doors are open for folks to come and express themselves.
Yeah, it's a good thing, and I would like to see it continue to become more and more inclusive. To it doesn't matter who you are or what you are, just show up and we'll all have a great time.
Yeah, and we did. We had a really good time. The Mandalorians, they were in a booth right next to us. The clan was right next to us.
Mandagalar.
Yes, and they're super nice folks. I love to troop with them. They really bring a lot of fun to events, and Alicia and the gang, they're very, very sweet, and I just absolutely love I have done very, very many, a whole lot of events with them, and I do love to do it.
Yeah.
So now we've got some more events coming up. We've got the Comic-Con coming up. We're going to be doing a show there. I'm excited about that. I am going to be at the Dodger game on the 2nd of July with Sith Dynasty, and this will be another baseball event that I'm looking forward to. We just did the Angel game, which was it was such a blast. I had a really good time. Kids love to see us. People want pictures. They want to, talk to us about Star Wars, and that's exciting because it seems like more and more people are like, you know what? I like Star Wars.
And you should, because it's cool.
I have to agree.
And, and I'm glad you do, and I'm glad you're here to share it with me and with everybody else, because,
yes.
You're a shining bright light. So.
Oh, thank you.
I'm not just saying that to promote the podcast. Checks are mailable too.
Radio Geonosis.
There you go. But yeah.
And we've got a swap meet coming up too.
Oh yeah.
We're going to be talking about that.
It's a Star Wars swap meet, which is going to hopefully happen in
in August.
Sometime in August in Chino, California, and basically any type of Star Wars themed vendor is going to come there, and I'm sure part of the proceeds is going to be going to Make-A-Wish.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what Vic said. So I think that's wonderful. I love the fact that we do this for Make-A-Wish, because by donating, we make a wish happen for someone who's terminally ill. And I can't think of a better way to do that. than to do it through Star Wars. It's been such a humbling and awesome experience to be able to do that.
I agree. And, I've participated in one or two Make-A-Wish events, and, watching the kids' face light up when the thing happens, whatever it is that they're kind of looking for.
And for that short amount of time, takes their mind off of what they're going through.
Yeah. And, and sometimes we learn from them as well. There's one young boy that we did one for, and, he had cancer, and it was a rare form of leukemia. And this kid, being between 5 and 6 years old, he had like a world-wise, very kind of attitude. And, he was aware of his mortality. And,
and at that age, to be aware of your mortality is extremely,
it's sobering.
Yeah, it is, because I think a lot of people take advantage of, I don't know, whatever, I'll be around tomorrow. This little guy knew that the clock was ticking for him.
Yeah.
But to be able to make his wish come true is a very humbling thing. And I think that's one of the reasons why, and it's a big reason why, I'm part of 3 different Star Wars groups. And I'm glad that Lucas, that they allow us to do these things.
Right,
I think it's wonderful. And like today, going out there, making kids smile, being able to be part of this great, this event. I'm really hoping we do it again.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because I had a really good time, and it was kind of a multi-temple thing. We had Outer Rim,
right?
We had Skywalker,
right?
And we had Temple Prime people there.
Right. So, basically all the Southern California folks, which is great.
Yes.
And, I like seeing my old friends because I haven't talked to them in a while, particularly Sal and Liz.
Yes.
And, well, the whole family, really, Lizzie and Axel as well.
And these are people from Rogue Rebels.
Yeah, they are the Rogue Rebels. Go to roguerebels.com. You can't miss them. They have a podcast. And so, yeah, and they're just wonderful people as well.
Yes.
And, as well as, the other folks we trooped with, Kendra and,
and Tara.
And Tara.
Yes.
And all these folks.
So it was really wonderful to see everybody come out and the Multi Club do this. I like that everybody got together and that we were able to do events. I'd like to see more of that. I'd like to see our groups, our temples work more closely with each other.
I think it's a good idea. And, particularly with, Saber Guild Temple Prime, that was the first one. And back in the day, that was the only one.
Yeah.
And so wherever you lived, if you wanted to be in Saber Guild, you had to go to Orange County. And,
we still kind of do that now.
Well, you do. Since we've expanded, I drive to Chino every day. But I used to drive to Orange County every Tuesday myself. And I still could. There's nothing that's stopping me except, money. But it's a great fun group to be with.
Yes, and the things that we do. I mean, people ask us to come to these different events, and I'm really happy that they do. That they want Saber Guild to be part of it. NerdBot seems to be, they seem to be expanding as well, with different events. And they bring, I think most of Loki is part of NerdBot, and he was the singer in the band. I wish I had gotten a picture.
Well, the guy that wore the Loki suit. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I was kind of, I took it, I was kind of sticking my eyeball over there earlier. And, just kind of checking it out. I'm like, oh, there's Loki.
Yeah, I think I like that. I like the fact that everybody is, that NerdBot does that. They do a lot of podcasts, plus the guys are in the band, and it makes it fun. It really did make it fun today.
And they're connecting with the community in a way, which is kind of cool.
They had people selling some Star Wars stuff. I tried not to shimmy over there because I probably would have come home with more. I got a pin and a dress, and so I'm really happy with that. And then I was able to get a one-piece lanyard for my son for his anime ticket, because he's got one of those, those big card things that you because now everyone's doing that. When you go, instead of having to wait in line at the conventions, they now mail that stuff to you. So you have your ticket way ahead of time. It's on a big, I don't even know how to say it. It's on a big plastic kind of thing.
Yeah, it's usually some kind of pre-printed plastic.
Right, which is a whole lot better than the ticket or the one-day paper or 5-day paper thing, you know.
Right, and
and it's almost like a collectible.
Well, yeah, it is in a sense. I have all my old badges, but the like the Star Wars Celebration badges, the ones in Chicago, I believe they had a chip in them too.
Wow.
Because if not a chip, a barcode, somebody would have to update me with the information because I'm not certain because I haven't seen one personally.
That's pretty smart.
But that's one of the ways that they were handling the panels. They would, they would know that who holds this badge can get into this panel.
Wow.
That they're, registered for.
Wow.
So,
well, I mean, if everyone's going the way of high technology, why not tickets? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it's going to happen. And,
yes.
and,
scan your arm. That's it, man. You're going in.
Well, that's a whole other story. But yeah, it's like they were at Walt Disney World. They're doing the band, and it's basically a little computerized band that.
Well, I know they were doing that for Galaxy's Edge.
Well, that was just a paper thing.
Right, but it's still for the reservations. But they still put that on you so that people couldn't ghost in.
Right.
And I think it's fair. I don't mind that they're doing that. I'm glad that they're doing that sort of thing. Keep it down. People, sneaking in that shouldn't be there and what have you. And I also do like the fact that, they are doing reservation. I had heard through the grapevine that they're going to possibly be monitoring how many people go in now to Galaxy's Edge, because I don't think they're just going to open the doors. I don't think that's going to happen at all. I think they're still going to do some monitoring to make sure the place isn't just, you're just a pit of people.
Well, they do have to monitor for capacity purposes.
Right.
Because that's a safety issue. But basically, reservations stop on June 24th. And so you can just show up and go in. But they will basically close the doors when the capacity's met. And they still plan on clearing the area every 4 hours.
Wow, that is a cool idea.
As far as I know, so every 4 hours they're still going to clear the area out, and then more people will be permitted in. Again.
Yeah, because then you can't turn around and just go back in. They're going to make you probably go out one way, more people go in the other way, which to me is probably one of the smartest things I've heard.
Yeah, because there are 3 entrances to Galaxy's Edge. So it'll be something that they will be able to manage pretty easily, I think.
Yeah.
So hopefully,
we'll see what happens, but I'm hoping for the best.
Yeah, and once I get personal experience by going myself, I will only know third hand by either people who've gone there or people who work there.
Yeah, I'll be the same way. I'm shooting for January. I haven't even gone to Wizarding World, so I got to make a point to make it there too.
Yeah, that's kind of a thing too. I do kind of want to hit the Wizarding World at Universal.
I went to Orlando and didn't go to Disneyland or Universal Studios. Didn't have time. I did not have time. I worked the booth most of the time, but that's a story for another time.
Okay.
Well, that's going to do it for us today at Radio Geonosis. Please follow us on Facebook. Please like and subscribe on our YouTube channel at Radio Geonosis. And also follow us on Instagram at Radio Geonosis. And let me correct the Facebook page. It's Radio Geonosis 2.0. So for us here at Radio Geonosis, we will see you next time. Bye.